I was really hoping I could be done with these problem videos about my FX6, but it still hasn't been completed. So let me just catch you up on what happened. I had an error code E95-125, couldn't stop the recording, sent it into Sony, and they said it was an electronics issue with peripheral devices. We need a mainboard replacement. So since they couldn't give me an exact answer of, was it the Angelbird SD cards I was using? Was it the Tilta V-mount plate? Was it the small rig 212 watt hour? Is it the fact that I'm using SDI and not following the protocol? They couldn't give me any details. So all they said was, here's our invoice to replace the main board. So I paid it, a little over $2,000, get the camera back after the item was out of stock and they didn't let me know and I had to follow up. And I get the camera back and I saw a little piece that was not properly assembled. So they sent me an email saying, oh, that's the weather sealing, that's the gasket. Send us the camera back and we will fix it. So I said, okay, my camera has already been out of commission for a couple weeks. And now this is going to take an additional time to reservice, not by my negligence, but I will receive the inconvenience. Can I have a loaner unit while you guys fix this one? And they said, no, we will not give it to you. So I'm kind of out of luck because this whole issue, which doesn't have a defined answer, doesn't have great customer service, and it's just leaving me kind of at the whim of I can't really control anything, but I have to pay for it and take the consequences of their misassembly. So I'm on a job right now because I can't just have my camera out for service at all times. I need to actually work. So we're in a hotel, I'm shooting. I'm gonna have to figure out a time when I can send this back, even though they said it will only be a one-day repair. But with the shipping out, the one-day repair, the shipping back, it's gonna be at least half a week where I cannot use it. And also, who knows what could happen. Could be delays in transit. So it's a really kind of not ideal situation to be in when I just, like I said, I can't really have control over this situation. What I did have control over is saying, I'm gonna get new accessories. So the new accessories that I got are Sony OEM factory CF Express Type A. These definitely feel more solid than SD cards and they transfer so much faster. So that in combination with the CF Express Type A reader, I was transferring 80 gigs in 3 minutes, which is so much faster than I've ever been capable of. I thought this bundle that was 2 320 gigabyte cards and a reader, I thought it would come with the Sony reader, and it's not. It's Excelon. I didn't double check. I just assumed it would be part of the bundle. So now that I'm using this type of media and SSDs, I'm finally back up to where everyone else was in 2020, but now I'm there. We're getting fast transfer speeds. I am still using the same Core, HyperCore Neo Minis. I was not using this during the error. I was using a small rig battery. So I think going back to this will be a nice standard of battery, not a brand new battery by small rig that hasn't been industry tested. And then completely ditching the Tilta V-mount and going with the Anton Bauer V-mount plate. Now, as I put out these videos, there was a ton of people who were saying, it's the Tilta plate. And then I had other people saying, I had the exact same error, but with wooden camera. So I was like, I don't want either of those, only to purchase this one and find out that it was basically a co-design with wooden camera. So it's literally probably the exact same thing inside, just different plastic stamp on the outside. I really, really don't like how it mounts because it's just a tiny bit of threads from the screw, and these are very tiny screws. Whereas with the Tilta one, I could tap right into this plate and, oh no, and it felt way more secure. So I'm rough with my gear. I feel like I'm gonna, I don't know, mess this one up. There's a huge gap, which makes it a bit bigger, which fits in my bag a little less ideally. However, what that does is it allows me to access the media door way easier than with the Tilta. I get to see my rear tally light again. That's really nice. And it's got the swing away feature. And if I want to have the internal battery, I can throw that in there as well. So all in all to say, I'm not really ecstatic about the quality of care that I've got from this whole process with Sony. To miss a simple alignment of the panel to the point that the weather gasket is hanging off, that when I open the box I see it immediately, really doesn't instill confidence that the actual mainboard replacement was done to a high level. So I don't know. I don't know where this will be. And I've had a ton of people in the comments who are like, switch back to Canon, go to this system, that system. My hesitance with that is this camera gets requested. As a freelancer, I follow where the market demand is. So I will get 1 out of 30 requests will say we want it to be Canon, maybe even fewer. And then I say a large portion are just, we want something equivalent to FS7, C300, anything in that range, which that allows some more flexibility. And then there is a fair portion, probably 30%, that says we want this camera in particular. And that gets me a lot of work, or it at least allows me to get to the next step of getting hired. So for the people who are saying, try out the C400, it's exactly what you want, I think it's a great offering from Canon. What the problem is it's catching Canon up to other manufacturers. And in that meantime, they've lost so many customers that that customer base has gone to Sony, and they've established a Sony workflow with A and B cameras like FX6s and 9s pairing with A7S3s, FX3s, and it's now just so common to be on a Sony workflow. To have a camera that is outside of that as a freelancer doesn't help me, it actually hurts me, because I have to convince people that these cameras are just as good, even if they're better. And that won't change their argument because they go, that's great if it's better. We have this workflow. We're working on this log curve for our projects. We have these LUTs designed for this. We have these codec types for this. If you introduce a better camera, that's not helping us. That's throwing more wrenches into the machine. So I would love to see more options though, because if I keep having situations like this, I will not be sticking around. I will find something else that works. Unfortunately, really the only other option to kind of circumvent this V-mount issue, which I think that is the issue, is to step up to their Burano, which is $25,000. This is $6,000, and that's not practical for someone in my situation who does like low to mid-level freelancing. Most of my clients don't even know what a Burano is. They don't even know what they do know what an FX6 is, but I wouldn't see the same ROI for the camera. Now, Buranos break too. So I could be in the exact same situation, sending it to the exact same repair shop where they don't put the body panels on correctly. Like that just blows my mind. I don't know what junior technician they gave it to, and then no one in the repair team double checked. That's nuts. Pixis would be great. Horrible flaw, it only shoots B-RAW. As a freelancer, I can't deliver B-RAW to a lot of clients. They want 1080p Rec 709 MP4. And if the Pixis had more flexibility, I would love to consider it. If it had, yeah, a bunch of other things, I would love to consider it. The Canon looks great. has their new lens mount, really future-proof with the resolution. RAW, I don't have a need for that. Dual XLR, NDs, large battery types. Yeah, seems like a great option. But I have to flow with where the requests are coming in. Who else is out there? I saw Fuji just has their Eterna thing. That's going to take a while to build out that camera line and for anyone to even know what that is on the production company level. Panasonic EVA 1 would have been great a few years ago. It never caught fire. And there's not much. There's really not much when you're looking for a camera in this type of form factor and specs. If you are trying to build up a mirrorless camera, you could do that all day, and you could satisfy everything on paper besides maybe SDI. A couple of them have it, but not all. But there is something to be said about just easily fitting into people's existing workflows. So I'm just going to use this, see how it goes. But if there's more issues, I definitely think I will be looking elsewhere, or I'll be looking at it from a different angle. Maybe it's taking rid of the V-mount entirely and the monitor, which, by the way, the new small HD monitors are going to have some type of FX6 control. That would be a great excuse for me to upgrade this, especially if it has touch focus. I don't normally keep this monitor here. I did use it today just to tap on faces, but normally if I have it on face and eye only, it doesn't miss a beat. And yeah, I'm kind of just, okay, I guess that's what I have to do. Just gonna keep using it, and if it messes up again, it messes up. So let me know what you guys think what decisions I could do could help in this situation, because right now I'll just continue on as normal.